Good evening, everybody. It's the Dead Time Radio program. I'm Billy. I'm here with my buddy Don. Hi, Don.
Hello.
We are proud and pleased to bring you yet another episode of the greatest podcast on the interwebs. I don't care what anybody says. Ever. Exactly. You can give us a shout out on our email, which is thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com, or give us a call at 843-492-7966. Tell us stories. Tell us cool shit. Tell us we suck. Tell us you love us. Whatever you want to tell us.
We got some new things in the works.
We got lots of new things in the works. Really cool things. And we're not telling you anything until it's time. Let me just put it this way. You're going to want to hear the finale. You got a few weeks to go. So we got some stories to tell today. Some cool stuff. But we got ideas that we're building up on. It's all coming to, what do we call that? A crescendo. I think you guys are going to like it. We don't want to blow our load and tell you everything right now. Just keep in mind, this is going to be awesome.
Epic.
All right. So today's episode, we are going to talk about something a little important. Something that's kind of odd that's been happening for a while now. Dawn brought this to my attention because she's always like doing nerdy shit, like looking shit up. But I digress. Anyway, people that have become like missing persons in national parks. Apparently, this is a giant thing I didn't know about until, of course, Professor Dawn did her research. And we're going to tell you some stories of some weird shit that people have done. And if you have any information on any of these people, there's a tip line. You can call or text at 888-653-0009. Or you can send an email at www.nps.gov/ISB. The ISB is capital. and click submit a tip. Or you can email them directly at npsisb@nps.gov. And, of course, you can dial 911.
Yeah.
So what did you learn before we get into this, Don, when you were looking at this stuff?
Well, I learned that some weird stuff, which kind of blew my mind, that the National Park Service does not have to submit information on the people that are missing.
That doesn't make any sense.
They only have to give them every year a number. So all these numbers, which are they're massive amounts of people that go missing, and they don't find them. So National Park Service, they do call the police, and then the police searches for them, and the police has the name. But the National Park Service, which is a service that we pay for, does not have to keep up with the names. Like, if you have to submit and get a list of the names of who's missing, and it's just names. So it doesn't tell you the height, weight, what they look like, what they were wearing, like if you want to go out walking, looking, or whatever. And also, if you go to the National Park Service, they take down all the posters if there's been anybody missing.
Why would they take the posters down?
They don't want you to have a bad time.
So
it's like the magic of being in the park. You don't want to think about that. Oh, the park you're going into, 5 people just went missing yesterday.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm just telling you. That's the service that we pay for with our taxes. This is what's happening.
All of that stuff should fall under the Freedom of Information Act, in my opinion, because that is.
But if they don't have to be held accountable by giving names of people that are missing.
Yeah, but the government should be held accountable for that kind of shit. And
I agree with
it
that.
sounds like our sound effect tech, Mara, is in action this morning.
Yeah, she's doing a good job. Fine job.
She's adding the creepy EVPs in the background for the strange missing people episode.
Yeah. And there's a few shows on Hulu that are out. They're Missing, Hunted, and I think the other one is, what was it, Missing 411 or something like that. But the Hunted one that I was watching, it blew me away because these people are trackers. They're hunters. They go to the same spot every year, and then for them to get missing, like they don't find their body. Everyone carries a firearm. Everyone has a crossbow. None of that stuff's found. So it would seem to me that they were snatched. Somebody took them.
You,
Not that they died.
you don't just fuck with a guy with a crossbow.
That's what I mean. Or a firearm. They don't go into these woods, not armed. They do it every year. It's weird.
It is weird. I mean, it makes no sense. But
They have
it doesn't-
GPS trackers. They have a satellite phone. So they have the things that they need that you would think, okay, this is what I'm going to need when I go in there. They have all that, but they can't find any sign of any of it.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
How the federal government, I mean, I guess it's not weird because they just do whatever the hell they want anyway, and it's not about them being our servant or any of that stuff. It's whatever the fuck they want to do, and to me that's just bullshit.
But even the Park Service carries firearms, and
Yeah.
one of the missing people is a Park Service employee. How did that happen? He knows his way around. He walks these trails every day. One of the missing persons was a park ranger, and they still haven't found him.
Wow.
Where did he go?
Maybe Bigfoot married him.
It's once you start digging, you just have more questions. You think, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get some answers. You don't get answers, you get more questions. You're just like, this is just weird. What can we do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. Just don't go in the friggin' woods, it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, the first website that I found that's got some cool information here, Creepy Accounts of Missing People in National Parks, was written in 2017. It's on freaked.com. Missing people in national parks. And it says 2 off-duty rangers approached a former policeman and an author to help them find the total number of people who go missing in national parks. They wanted them to conduct the research in plain clothes and keep the mission secret. Okay, that right there is fucked up. It shouldn't be a secret mission.
Right.
David Paulides was the man who agreed to look into the matter. He documented 6 volumes of his search and named the book Missing 411. That's what you had mentioned earlier.
Yes.
And that's actually a show on
It's a
what?
movie now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the first one's Missing 411. That's the movie, and then he has 5 books that I'm aware of.
Right.
But the other movie is Missing Hunted.
All right.
Which are hunters that get missing, which doesn't make any sense. Like, I can understand somebody wandered away or maybe falling off the side of a mountain. But these hunters, they go out every year and they search for big game. So, they're in
And
a
they know
group.
the land.
They're
They
in a
know
group.
that land.
It's not one person. It's
Right.
like 5 people.
Right. They know
Like,
that
you
land
go
like
off
the back
to
of their
take
hand.
a piss in the woods, and then you're gone.
That'd be like me going to my backyard and disappearing.
Correct. Exactly.
Where the fuck did Billy go? It's his backyard. He knows it.
Yeah, he has a GPS. He has
Maybe
a
I didn't
phone.
disappear. Maybe I have a bunker under there, and you just
I
don't
mean,
know where the
that
entrance
could
is.
be too. You could choose to fall.
That's where I
go
keep
away.
all my ladies.
You had to turn this more creepy.
Of course I did,
Of course you did.
because that's me. I'm Creepy
I would
McCreeperson.
expect nothing less.
That's right. So Paulides was deeply affected by the shocking results that his search revealed. He called the missing of people mysterious series of worldwide disappearances defying logical and conventional explanations.
Truth.
His research expands on several years and brings to light some questions that anyone fails to answer. The National Park Service has no database of missing people's record.
Mm-hmm.
No one knows how many are lost, but the high volume of missing people raises eyebrows and sounds strange.
Okay,
You think?
so if you were going to be a serial killer, guess what job would be perfect for you?
Right, park ranger.
A park ranger. You know why? Because all you have to do by the end of the year is turn in a number. So you
Right.
say, okay, so there was 72 people. So you killed 10 of those people.
Right, so
you
there's
know
only
really
62
only
people.
62 people that have actually gone missing. And
Wow.
guess what? They're never going to find them because you know the forest like
And
the
you
back
know
of your
where you
hand.
killed them.
Exactly.
So that
You
you,
know where
could
you
just
put
dump
'em.
the bodies and make them search
Right.
elsewhere.
It would be a perfect book.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's my next idea.
All right, serial killers take note.
It's crazy.
On August 8th, 1897, Lillian Carney, 1897,
Wow.
went with her parents to collect blueberries at noon.
Blueberries.
They were in Masardis, Maine. Why?
Ooh.
Because Maine,
They
did
have
you know
blueberries?
Maine's biggest state, or biggest
state?
thing,
Yeah,
Maine's
it's
biggest
not the biggest state, but thank-
export
okay.
is blueberries.
I didn't know that.
It's not lobster, it's blueberries.
Mm.
Lobster's the second. They got taters and blueberries up there. And
Wow.
They're fucking good.
How would you get the taters out if the ground's frozen?
The ground's not frozen all the time,
It's
Dawn.
Maine. It's frozen
Okay.
all the time. It's the tundra.
God.
It's the tundra.
Jesus, it's only southern Canada.
I would never go up there because I would freeze solid.
No, you wouldn't. You would
I
like
would.
it though. In the
No,
summer,
but-
it's chilly even in the morning.
My feet and my hands are always cold. I'm always cold.
They wouldn't like you up there.
They probably
Be like,
would
get
not.
this goddamn woman off my lawn.
doesn't like my
She parked her
blueberries.
car in my yard again, and I'm fucking sick of it.
She doesn't like my blueberries.
She doesn't eat my goddamn blueberries, but
doesn't
she
eat-
loves my lobster.
I don't like lobster.
I don't like lobster either.
I don't like lobster, so they would not like me.
They'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You're friggin' numb. Oh, Don loves my Maine accent.
Kills
The
me.
thing is, it's like fucking dead on. I have,
I know it
I have
is.
family members
I
that
know
talk
it
like
is.
that.
I absolutely know it is.
15 miles west of the Canadian border. That's way up in Maine, where the area has plenty of rivers, ponds, and lakes. Their visit was short, but while the parents were picking up the berries, she disappeared without a trace. They
So how-
searched for her everywhere.
Where did she go?
I don't know. And then they got help from the locals. Around 200 people showed up for her search. Paulides writes that search parties always call the missing person by his or her name and make it clear that they are friends and they are there to help. But in all 411 missing people cases, no one responded to the call of the search parties. On the third day of the search for Carney, 300 people had joined hands to look for her. She was found by Bert Polland, about 2 to 3 miles away from where she was with her parents. She did not say much about her whereabouts, but instead shared something really interesting. She said that there was bright sunshine everywhere around her, although she remained lost for 46 hours. What was the light?
It's an alien! Really?
Dude, that's a trip.
It's an alien.
And this is one that you didn't even know about.
That was 1897. That's
1897.
before, like, the internet where all the alien crap blew up. Yeah, this was before Area 51. This was way before Area 51.
Up there in Massadas.
A bright light.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let's see. 3-year-old John Doe. John Doe, a 3-year-old boy, went missing at 6:30 p.m. and was found at 11:30 p.m. Despite being quite small, he tells an interesting account of his loss. He was in an underground cave where the environment was dark and only entrance showed light. There was an old woman there who resembled his grandma. There were other people in the cave, but they were robots. Even the old lady turned out to be a robot, but she was nice to him. She had some light coming from her head, but she got mad at him when she asked him to defecate on some sticky papers on the ground.
What?
What?
She asked him to poop on the paper?
The kid refused as he didn't feel like it. There were small guns also around in the cave, but they were all covered in dust. Wow. What?
What does that mean? Why would an
Dude.
old lady ask you to poop on the paper? That's worse than Hansel and Gretel.
Maybe I never even thought that maybe, yeah, they were brought to some kind of cave or
And
something.
they were robots.
And they were robots. That sounds to me like the kid was just making that shit up.
But what if he wasn't? What if they
Nobody's
were
ever
alien-
asked me to shit on sticky papers.
Well, you wouldn't tell anybody if they did. 'Cause
Oh, I
that's
would
weird.
tell you. I'd be like,
You
dude,
would tell
you'll
me.
never fucking believe
tell
what the
me,
hell.
but-
I was dating this girl last night, and she asked me to shit on some sticky papers. And I was like, what do you need me to shit on stinky papers for? You don't shit on the fucking paper. You clean shit with paper. I don't get it. That's fucking
He's
weird.
3, but at least they found him. But
Yeah,
geez, Louise,
that's kind of fucking crazy.
she had light coming from her head. Like I don't.
She had a
Maybe that's
goddamn
why they-
spotlight right on the
Maybe
top
that's
of her
why
head.
they took him, because they wouldn't believe him.
Stephen Kubacki was lost for 15 months.
Ooh.
This is the strangest case of missing. Stephen Kubacki went missing and was found 15 months later. His clothes were different than the ones he was wearing when he was lost. He had no clear memories of the time he was missing. Stephen was a German student, and in February of 1978, he went skiing to a place called Great Lakes Triangle. This area is already known for missing ships, boats, and even aircrafts in the book of Jay Gorley. Stephen's skis and poles were found at Lake Michigan Beach. After a short distance, the footprints stopped and the search party found his backpack. However, Stephen was nowhere to be found. 15 months later, Stephen walked up to his father's home claiming to have no recollection of the past 15 months.
Ooh.
He said he woke up in a meadow in Pittsfield that was 40 miles away from his father's home, but he was wearing clothes that were not his. He also found a satchel with maps that were not his, and the place was 700 miles away from Lake Michigan.
Ooh, so I have a theory. So what if 2 people were abducted, and the freaking aliens, they'd had them for so long, and then they got in trouble, and then they just put them in the different clothes in different place.
Yeah. They were just like,
They
just
switched
put
them.
him into anything and just get him the
No,
fuck
well,
out of here kind of
we
thing.
know we took this one from here and that one from there, but what if they switched them? And he had the
Wow.
other guy's satchel, and the other guy was 400 miles away.
That's just weird.
So yeah, so there's two people that have the same. Like I showed up in somebody else's clothes and had somebody else's bag.
Now,
Can you put yourself in that guy's place? How would you feel if you were gone for a year and you come back and you're in somebody else's clothes and you have a
Yeah.
bag? Like what? I would have to check myself in for some kind of evaluation.
am I going crazy? What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah,
this
'cause
isn't what I was wearing this morning.
You would have already had a funeral for me.
Right.
You would have already,
Dude, that's one of my biggest fears, by the way.
what?
That, like, I'll die, or not die, but I'll be, like, gone so long that people think I'm dead, and then they'll have a funeral, and then I'll come back.
No, I will contact you if
Like,
you're dead. I will know if you're dead.
How many stories do you hear about, like, people, like, that were married, and then they think their husband died or their wife died, and then they get remarried, and then that person comes back in their life, like, 5 years later?
I mean, why? Yeah, you would do. You
What
would
the
go on
fuck?
with your life.
I
That's
mean,
the fear.
That's just a scary thought.
It is.
You just basically have lost everything, and you
Yeah.
had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
wasn't
But
even
think
your
about the
fault.
person that's home that you
Yeah,
come
I
back
get
to.
that,
Like, I'm
but
still
still.
married to you.
Yeah.
But I'm married to this dude too.
Fucking polygamist.
We don't live in Utah. But if we did, it would be okay.
Sister wives.
Yeah.
So
I
these
just
are
keep them both.
these are, I guess,
Yeah, that's
self-reports
wicked.
of people who got lost in strange incidents. So one is an old army officer recalls the memory of getting, like, snatched, quote unquote.
Ooh.
He got snatched. I've
An
gotten
army
snatched
officer.
before. Oh, that's
No,
not what he's
That's
talking
not
about.
what he's talking about, dude. No. It's too early for that shit.
It's never too early, Don. Never. I'm right on time. This is usually where I get giddy.
I
Remember?
know. I remember. Yes.
A woman with her son were lost from their trail for 3 hours. Now, I don't think that's strange because it's easy to get lost in the
It is
woods.
very easy.
I mean, if you're not paying attention to what you're doing, it's super easy. Hell, I used to play up in the woods in Maine all the time when I was a kid when we'd go visit. And I remember getting lost a few times too, but I never bitched about it. Fucking buck up, you little sissies. A woman found herself in a different location than when she started off. She was hiking on a well-marked trail and went almost 5 feet off the track to read the name of the national forest written on a sign at a tree. After reading the sign, she turned to get back on the trail, only to discover that it was not there anymore.
Ooh. That was a time slip.
I think that was.
What?
That I think maybe you might be right on that. Or maybe she hit a wormhole or something and didn't even realize it.
So maybe that's what happens to the forest that's at the bottom of Mount Fuji.
Maybe something tickled her wormhole.
Oh my God, really?
I'm just saying, it could happen.
That's why you don't go off trail. Something
That's
will
right.
tickle your wormhole.
Exactly. Fuck, man.
Don't
These
tickle
people just need to
wormholes.
realize things.
You need to write a book about it.
I do.
PSA announcements
Exactly.
of
Here's
Billy's.
a PSA. This just in. Don't let people tickle your wormhole. Another veteran recalls a rather bizarre account of his loss while in the park with his son. As I looked back, I noticed that the trail I was walking on lost all sense of familiarity. There was trees I didn't see, certain plants I know for sure weren't there before, etc. But regardless, I kept my composure and stared deeply into the woods to see what made that snapping sound. I scanned the area and didn't see any life forms, but for some reason, my eyes started to fixate on a particularly unnerving dark section of the forest. For whatever reason, my entire body started locking up and every single alarm bell in my head was pinging. No matter how hard I tried to focus on this dark patch, I couldn't see shit. I had the weirdest sensation of being able to see each individual branch and plant in high detail, but I couldn't focus on the scene overall. It was super blurry. I almost felt my internal fight or flight mechanism flipping between two decisions faster than a coin in a coin toss. So, I mean, dude, it sounds to me like there might be something else going on there too, like maybe some type of electromagnetic thing where
Right.
people just almost like the Bermuda Triangle.
Right, where you
All your
get
senses are
scared
fucked.
and
Your instruments are all screwing
your
up.
instruments, right. Well, we talked about MRIs,
Right,
how they flip your north and south poles.
right.
So you're right. A magnet as strong as the Earth is a magnet. So we are stuck to the magnet. So we are magnetic beings. So why would that not, like you have EMFs or, the magnets being off?
Yeah, that's really weird. Very, very weird.
Yeah, there's hundreds and hundreds of stories about this.
Well,
It's just,
this article here on Down the Chupacabra Hole, I love that fucking webpage. .com. That's what I.
that's what
They make it easy.
I know. They left the door
Hey,
wide
baby,
open.
I want to go down your Chupacabra hole.
Oh.
That's a good pickup line. I'm gonna use that.
Oh, you need to write that down.
I'm
Here,
fucking
write that.
using that
Here,
shit.
borrow my pen. Here
Are
you
you?
go.
Are
Hold
you?
on.
Are
Here's
you
my
a
pen.
goat sucker?
Here, write it down.
I got a pen. That shit's in the fucking bank. In the bank in my head.
Beware.
Hi, baby. I really want to go down your Chupacabra hole.
Beware.
You can call him Goaty.
Oh, God. Oh, I digress. Missing persons.
So Paulides talks about after meticulously searching thousands of cases, Don.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
fucking
just 100.
unbelievable, man.
Add another 0.
Not just a couple, thousands. Odd similarities and patterns emerged. Certain baffling parallels were seen repeatedly despite the incidents transpiring thousands of miles from each other. Some of the common links are difficult to rationalize and are not easily dismissed. These perplexing characteristics leave far more questions than answers. Search dogs behave strangely. See, when you have animals acting crazy around
Right.
something,
Yes.
that's a big red flag. Something's not right.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay, so if you're in the woods and then everything goes quiet, usually there's, you can hear birds, you can
Right.
hear, little things chirping, you can hear crickets, you can hear around here
Right,
there's
but when it becomes
cicadas.
dead
and
quiet,
when it is, you can hear yourself breathing. The animals have shut up for some reason or
Right,
another.
right.
They are just like, shh, don't say anything to their own offspring. Like, psh.
right? So this is oftentimes
problem.
these canines cannot pick up a scent or simply don't want to. In other instances, they begin tracking only to lay down and stop searching as if the person had vanished into thin air. Cadaver dogs are unable to locate a corpse.
Yes, that is one of the things on that missing hunted.
Wow.
The hunter just, they lost the scent. He was exactly where he was supposed to be. The dogs went exactly where he was supposed to be, and it was gone. There was nothing else.
Wow.
No other smell.
Here's another one. The body is found in an area that has searched before.
Right.
In
that
many
one,
instances, the missing appears in a location that has been thoroughly searched dozens, if not hundreds of times. It's not uncommon for the deceased to surface on a main trail that is utilized by hikers on a daily basis.
Yep.
So that sounds to me like he or she was abducted, killed, and then brought back to that spot.
And laid in a place
After-
where they would be found.
Yeah, after everything simmered down.
After they had dissected you and did
Right.
whatever they wanted to with you. Yeah.
Another one here, travel uphill instead of downhill. The missing is often found at high levels of elevation, such as mountain peaks. Frequently, the victim will travel an astounding amount of miles through treacherous terrain in a time period which seems humanly impossible. This reminds me of a story. I don't know if I ever told you. When I was doing a travel assignment in Alaska, and I went hiking with 2 other travelers, and we left in the morning at about 8 o'clock. And we were hiking pretty much all day. We didn't get home until midnight because it was bright the whole time because it was in the summer.
Right.
So it's daytime all the time.
Right.
So we probably hiked more than 50 miles. And I didn't even know where the fuck we were. Wow. Somehow we found our way back. Those girls were fucking amazing. They knew exactly where they were going, but they were all from like Alabama and shit. I was still living in Vegas at the time, so I didn't have my woodsman in me anymore. But yeah, dude, it was crazy. I mean, you can easily lose track of time when you're doing stuff, and if you're just hiking and, you already got the fear of fucking grizzly bears up there
Right.
that you have to make noise while you're walking through the woods, because if you startle one of them, you're done. That's it.
Right.
Game over.
That's why they have the bells.
Right. So, I mean, we were talking loud and, cracking branches and shit like that. But now that I think about it after reading this, I can see how easily somebody could completely lose track of time and get lost and then not know where in the hell they are.
Yeah, but you would know if you were traveling uphill or downhill, wouldn't you?
Yes and no. If it's not a steep grade, you'd never know. And then
You
next
just
thing
keep
you know,
walking.
next thing you know, but they're talking about they were finding some of these people on mountain peaks.
Right.
Now, you
Like
know
that-
when you're climbing a mountain.
Yeah, exactly. The air changes, you're breathing, everything.
Yeah, but there were places where we were walking, and there was not a very steep grade. It was just a gradual grade up, and we were up at a higher elevation before we even knew it. Wow. So it's very possible too. You know, if you find the right spot and you don't even realize you're doing it, yeah, I could see that, but not a mountain peak.
Yeah, but treacherous terrain, you would remember if you were going through bramble, briar, or,
right,
you know what
right.
I mean? Like
yeah,
rocks, you'd know if you're climbing over these huge rocks, or you
Absolutely.
might fall off of a mountain.
So
Yeah.
another list I have here: weather-related phenomenon. Shortly after the individual goes missing, the forecast takes a drastic turn. Torrential rain, lightning, fog, sandstorms, or blizzards occur, which delay search parties. That's common. Missing clothing. Shoes, pants, shirts, and jackets are often removed, even by children who are too young to do so themselves. Paradoxical undressing cannot explain why a person would do this in a temperate environment. Clothing that is found is sometimes neatly folded. Now that's fucking creepy.
Ooh, no, I mean, if a kid takes his clothes off, dude, if he takes a jacket or a sock, it is in a lump.
Yeah.
They're not gonna
They just
fold
throw it
it.
on the ground.
Yeah, you have to come behind your children and pick up after.
Maybe Bigfoot's really good at laundry.
He likes to fold. He's worked at structure with like a folding
Right.
thing. Yeah. The
High
folding
amounts
board.
of plane crashes. Search planes and helicopters seem to crash at abnormally high rates during these specific cases. Wow. Extreme ends of the intellectual scale. On one side, there are well-educated people such as doctors, psychiatrists, and physicists. Others have disabilities such as autism or Down syndrome.
Those are the people that are missing? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah,
Those
this is
people
all
that
the
are
list
missing?
of stuff, like causes of missing. Now, this
First
one's...
of all, if they're autistic or Down syndrome, they're not going to be by themselves.
No.
Like, you're not leaving an autistic child or a child with Down
Right.
syndrome by themselves to walk anywhere.
Right.
You go pee, I'm standing there.
Right. Well,
Because you'll go,
I mean,
oh, look, a butterfly,
I
and
don't
follow
even
the
know
butterfly.
what you're into, though.
Shut up, dude.
This one's weird. German ancestry.
What?
Those with German heritage appear to go missing at much higher rates.
Why?
Maybe it's the Bavarian fucking forest, the Black Forest. Maybe they have a
Ooh,
curse from
They
the
don't
Black
like
Forest.
Germans? Was that from, like, World War...
The Black
what-
Forest? No, that's like one of the most ancient forests in Europe.
But why would they target Germans? Because the Germans targeted the Jews?
No. I don't think
I
it
mean,
has
you're
anything
off
to do
the
with
wall.
that.
I'm just going off the wall.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. But I don't know,
Why does
man.
the forest hate Germans?
I don't know. Maybe Hansel and Gretel fucked it up for everybody. You ever
No,
think of that?
well, I mean, they
Thanks
gave,
a lot, Hansel and
Hansel
Gretel.
and Gretel gave witches a bad name too.
Right,
So
they
thanks,
did.
Hansel and
Cool.
Gretel.
Fucking grim. Where was I?
Boulder
Oh,
fields.
Boulder fields and granite. An excessive number of men and women vanish in boulder fields or areas with huge quantities of granite. Yosemite Park is the largest of all of the clusters and also happens to be the biggest source of granite on Earth. Here's something you don't know about granite. Granite does have radioactivity in it.
Oh,
And it actually builds up radon.
what's that?
It's a radioactive dust.
So are you breathing it?
It's like a gas, I think.
That'll
yeah,
alter your
yeah,
mental
yeah,
state.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I moved back to Maine, my first year when I bought my house, they have to do a radon reading in your basement
Oh yeah,
because most basements are made of granite.
they have to do that in Asheville also.
Yeah.
They have to.
I think it's all a scam, to be honest.
Is it just
because they
mountain
want you to
stuff?
get like radon detectors and all this other bullshit.
In Nashville, you have to.
Right, of course. But it does have a natural radiation. And it's over long periods of time that it builds up. And there could be spots where there's a higher concentration of radiation. That could easily describe that. And that can fuck you up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you start getting sick or you start getting delirious because you got a little bit of radiation sickness,
Right.
yeah, that could probably do it.
Wow.
The victim is retrieved near a body of water. Another common factor is the presence of water. Bodies are often discovered near oceans, lakes, rivers, streams, or swamps.
So if you get lost, the first thing they tell you is to follow the water. So
Right.
that makes sense because
Yeah.
you're going to follow the stream down to where
In case you get thirsty.
Well, not only that, but it's going to flow because that's where
Right.
people build their houses. You're going to.
That's where towns go.
Right.
Yeah. Berry picking. Strangely, this is a recurring theme shared among several cases. Those who are picking berries seem to go missing at higher rates. Well, don't pick the fucking berries.
Maybe it's like you're taking their stuff out of their refrigerator.
Maybe like a grizzly bear goes, bitch, those are my berries.
Psh, you
Get the fuck out my berries.
get bear slapped. Boo.
That's right. You get berry slapped.
Psh. Upside the head.
Not feeling well or being tired. Well, if you're not feeling well or being tired, it's probably not smart to go fucking hiking.
But it's probably when you get out there because you're not fit enough to be out there hiking.
I mean, probably.
Some friends just like, hey, let's go hiking today. Okay, sure, that's a good idea. And
Hey,
then
I'm
you're
just
like,
shitting blood. Let me just grab my fucking shorts and we'll go hiking.
I'm not talking about that. GI bleeds. Why would you go out there with a GI bleed?
Don't worry about the red spot on the back of my white shorts. Just shitting blood. Let's go hiking.
Billy, did you start your period again?
Yeah, exactly.
I have some tampons.
Prior to the disappearance, friends and family state the victim had informed them that they were feeling ill or wary. Yeah, so let's go hiking. That's a brilliant idea.
Don't do that. No, don't do that.
Oh, it's just a head bleed. We can go up fucking 3,000 feet above
Pressure.
sea level. It's all right.
Under pressure.
Being last in line. One of the most recurrent of all traits are those in a group who happen to be the last in line. Others who were there were with the missing report, seeing them mere seconds before, and suddenly they had vanished without a trace.
That's like those movies you see where it's like, whoosh.
Yeah, no one
So-
ever reports hearing any sounds such as a gasp, scream, or an animal.
Okay, so if you are in a pack of wolves, the alpha is always at the back. Did you know that?
Yes.
For that reason, because the weakest are always slower. So the alpha is always behind the slowest animal.
Yes.
Probably for that reason,
Probably.
because they are the easiest to prey upon.
Right.
The ones that are at the back, because they're slower, they may sit down, they may stop, and everybody else just keeps walking.
So here's
yeah.
here's another list of some of the people that have gone missing in national parks. Look at that guy's fucking head. He should have gone missing. Look at that
He looks
fucking
Samoan,
head.
but that doesn't, I mean...
He's got a big bulbous head. Joshua Jacobson in 2015. The search for 39-year-old Joshua Jacobson of Laurel, Nebraska was officially suspended by park rangers. He supposedly entered Badlands National Park on July 12th. In September 2015, a body found in a ravine was positively identified as Jacobson. I mean, some of these could easily be they didn't see what they're going on with their footing, and they might have slipped and hit a
Right,
rock,
right.
anything like that.
Right. So I went up when I was in California. We went hiking in Black Mountain,
Okay.
and it gets really, really cold. I was surprised at how cold it was.
Yeah.
They're like, "You're gonna need to take a jacket." I'm like, "It's like 95 degrees," and they're like, "No, when the sun goes down, it gets really cold." So we were walking out for the 2 days in a row that we went hiking. The people had gotten missing 2 days in a row.
Wow.
And the search and rescue team were coming in both times as we were coming out. It was starting to get dark. It was starting to get cold. And we were, both times we talked to this guy and we're like, hey, what are you doing? They're like, somebody else got missing again. So it's like a daily
That
thing.
would be
it
such a
seems like.
shit job where you have got to go look for people and
But
know.
you think you have time, but the sun goes
Yeah.
down. Okay, so you've got this thing that says, okay, sun sets at 8 o'clock. Well, guess what? At 6 o'clock, it goes over the mountain and
and you're fucking
you're
cold.
still cold. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're cold. And you still have 2 hours to get out and you don't see anything.
Yeah, it's
So
weird.
it's just you not knowing.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
a lot of it is like personal error, not knowing your surroundings, not being prepared for the worst.
Right.
Which you always should be when you're going out into some type of an environment that you're not familiar with at all.
Right. But like rain you were talking about, if it's going to rain really hard, it's going to wash you out.
Yeah, absolutely. You could slip on a rock.
Your footing, yeah.
You could get stuck in a mudslide, and then they'll never find you because that mud will cover you. It's like
So
a
another
fucking
thing,
mud avalanche.
We had walked through the asphalt, like the little gravel,
Mm-hmm.
to start walking. Well, I lost my footing and I took my shoe off, and it was filled with pebbles, so you no longer have traction. So I
Right.
had to dig all of them out
Yeah,
because as you walk, you gather all those little things.
yeah.
So it was like I had a bedroom slipper on because I had all those rocks and the little groove part. So there's just stuff like that you don't.
You went
You're not really
hiking with
prepared.
bedroom slippers?
No.
On
See,
June
some
2nd,
days-
2015, Morgan Heimer
One of these days, Alice.
disappeared in the Grand Canyon. Park rangers began a search for the 22-year-old, but after 6 days, they had not been able to find him. Heimer was a guide on Grand Canyon river rafting trips.
So he knows the place.
Right, he knew
Yeah,
he knew the
place.
environment.
So that's
Wow, man.
what I mean.
Michael Dahl mysteriously vanished in Yosemite National Park on March 23rd, 2015. A few days later, he was found by a family from Santa Rosa, California. He was alive but badly injured. See, some of these just sound like they just stepped on the wrong part and just fucking ate it, and it ruined their whole day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? February 2015, 21-year-old Drake Kramer of Texas disappeared. He told his father he was taking a solo trip to Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona and needed to be back with Mother Earth.
So he committed suicide.
That was the last time his father ever saw him. Kramer has been missing ever since. They still never found the guy. So he either died or he basically wanted to say fuck you to the society.
So he might be one of those.
Disappeared, yeah. He could be a hermit now.
Or he could be one of those feral people.
Right. We're going to get to that in a sec.
Yeah, those are wicked.
January 2015, Catherine Truitt of Alameda, California, vanished at Point Reyes National Park. Several searches were conducted, but they turned up nothing. Friends and family say that Truitt loved the 70,000-acre national park, specifically its beach, which is where it is believed she disappeared. 2 other women went missing from the same area around the same time, leading some investigators to believe their disappearances may be connected.
Ooh.
That's why they're not detectives, and that's why they're just fucking park rangers. Because,
Yeah, but for
duh,
3 women
of
to
course
get
their
missing?
fucking disappearances may be connected.
On a beach.
Unfucking
that's-
believable. Probably being kidnapped, sex
that's what I
trafficked,
mean.
all that
Yeah.
shit.
Yep. Somebody's laying in wait.
Gregory Muck. August 2014, a 46-year-old man from Santa Cruz, California, went hiking in Kings Canyon National Park and never made it out alive. The National Park Service officially announced that Gregory Muck, a 6-foot-tall hiker, was missing and launched a search with over 40 people. Muck's body was found 1 week later. Wow. Justin Richardson. June 29, 2011, 13-year-old Justin Lee Richardson, who had been visiting the Grand Canyon, mysteriously disappeared. Reportedly, he went into the woods behind Moquai Lodge South to attend a party and procure meth.
Ooh.
At 13 years old.
Meth?
I'm glad the motherfucker's gone.
You need to see some pictures of what we've seen.
He went with
Don't do meth, yo.
He went with 3 men, all between the ages of 18 and 21. Shortly thereafter, he disappeared. He has not been seen or heard from since.
He was doing meth. He freaking thought he could fly.
Dude, there is speculation he may have gone to Chicago to meet up with his girlfriend after becoming separated from the men, but
No.
nothing has been confirmed. No,
18 and 21, they murdered him.
they fucking killed that kid.
If all of them were doing meth, they probably murdered him.
They probably raped him.
Or they were just trying to peel his skin off, or what was
Try,
that?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's bath salts. But
I mean,
still,
you don't know what meth is mixed
right?
with. They mix it with all kind of crap.
13 fucking years old.
No.
Unbelievable.
That's a baby.
Stuart Isaac, 48-year-old from Maryland, disappeared in Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming. The last time anyone ever saw him was in September 2010. Subsequently, a major search was launched at Yellowstone. Park rangers and other officers searched the area, but all they found was Isaac's 2009 Lexus sedan.
Ooh.
What did he go driving out in the fucking Yellowstone?
You drive your
I'm
car
gonna
to
go
Yellowstone.
four-wheeling in a Lexus.
You drive your car there and then you walk. So your car will be there when you get out, Billy. That's how that works.
Samuel Belkey, an 8-year-old boy on the autism spectrum from Portland, Oregon, was with his family in Crater Lake National Park when he disappeared from their site. In October 2006, Oregon State Police launched major investigations to find the boy. Without any luck, authorities eventually called off the search. His family continued to look, but ultimately held a memorial service at Belkey's honor, though nobody has been found. See, all my friends that are listening, don't ever fucking ask me to go camping. No, I'm not doing it, because I'm not getting disappeared, motherfuckers. Bruce Pike, a 47-year-old man from Wyoming, disappeared from Yellowstone National Park in August 2006. Pike's disappearance launched a major search, but all that was discovered by rangers was his abandoned vehicle. Pike was rumored to have vanished near the Indian Creek campground.
Oof.
This is crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, man. You just keep reading. There's pages and pages and pages. I mean, you could read for days about all these people that have gone missing.
November 2000, 33-year-old Patrick T. Whalen went missing from Glacier National Park. The Colorado man vanished on the east side of the park, and his personal belongings and car were found at a campground nearby. He has not been found. Wow.
So the thing about, we were talking about the parks and stuff. There's a website called SierraClub.org, and that one has the indigenous people. You know,
Right.
they have their own government, and they have their own police force, and they have all. They're basically their own entity. Well, if you get lost and you're an indigenous people, you don't get much help because you are your own entity. So some of the stories that I was reading on SierraClub.org of missing people were like kids gone missing, and they called the cops, and they haven't found them with their own force. But as to us, we have helicopters. We can round up a lot of people, but they get less help than if an indigenous person gets missing. They get less help than we do, and that blew me away. That actually made me very upset. But
Wow.
you can't. I mean, even as a human being, you would want to help another human being be found.
Right.
But it's just that one kind of upset me.
So here's a list of the
That's
10.
what I wanted to read. Yes.
I'm going to read the top 10.
Okay.
The 10 most
Highest number.
highest
in
number
each
of
park.
missing. So we'll start with number 10, Glacier National Park in Montana, 58.
58 people. That's a lot.
Yeah. Number 9, Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, 59. Number 8, Bryce Canyon National Park in Utah, 86. Number 7, Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee, North Carolina, 100.
Yeah, that's us. By us.
Yep. Number 6, Zion National Park in Utah, 114. Now, I've been to Bryce and Zion.
Okay.
Sequoia and Kings Canyon is number 5 in California, 138. Number 4, Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado, 165. Number 3, Yosemite National Park in California, 233. Number 2, Grand Canyon National Park, Arizona, 290. And the number 1 place, which I've been to a million times, Lake Mead National Recreation Area in Nevada, 563.
563 people have gone missing
Yeah, in Lake
in that
Mead.
park. That's the highest one. I mean, Grand Canyon, people go there every day.
Yeah,
290 people. Yosemite, 233. Those numbers are mind blowing.
Yeah,
They've not found
absolutely.
these people. Where are all these people? Like right there could have filled up a stadium in a high school, all those people, and there's a list of 16. So where are they?
that's crazy.
You're
man.
going to find bodies. You're going to find something.
That's on strangeoutdoors.com. Questions and answers, national park stats, missing persons. That's kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, this stuff.
So this takes
These
us
are
to the
theories.
next. Yeah, this takes us to this next thing here. That's a weird theory, but I guess it's growing wings, and it's feral people living in national parks.
Right.
These are people. What feral means is they're wild. That
Right.
they don't need no rules.
They've chosen to go off grid,
Right.
and they've chosen to, which, I mean, if you're an outlaw, that's where you would be, I would
Right,
think. You'd go off
absolutely.
grid, and you wouldn't have any power or water. You just live off the land.
And they're cannibals apparently.
Well, I mean, if you're hungry.
Yeah. So one claimed 1,600 people go missing in national parks each year.
1,600 people.
Another attempted to quell fears by putting them into proportion. Plenty to be scared of in 2021. This ain't it.
Those are TikTok users.
Right.
It's a new
These
thing
are-
on TikTok where people are talking about the
Yeah.
missing persons. So they're
For-
talking about the feral people.
Yeah. Polides, they're talking about him again. He claims to have found disturbing trends in the reports and case files, as well as stories that defied simple explanation. For individual stories, read how read this How Stuff Works piece, which is what we read. That was the very first thing we read.
Right.
However, rather than feral people in the national parks being to blame, Polides puts it down to something else. Some people think it's Bigfoot. Some
Well,
think
Pallades
it's
says it could be Bigfoot
Yeah.
or Sasquatch
or Wendigo, which is the
Wendigo.
Canadian version of Bigfoot.
right.
Others have suggested Wendigos, gaunt to the point of emaciation, its desiccated skin pulled tautly over its bones. That's weird.
Well, Wendigos are cannibals,
Yeah.
so that
Others believe that it's
Makes sense.
portals, which is what I kind of said earlier,
right. I mean, that's where you would put the portables?
in the middle of nowhere.
Well, in the national forest.
I mean, some of these national forests are right on ley lines as well.
Look,
so
okay,
it's quite possible.
So Eisenhower, we talked about on one of our podcasts. Eisenhower signed the treaty with the aliens.
Right.
So we have so many national forests and so much a vast amount of places where no one goes. Maybe in the treaty that gave them permission to pluck people from those national forests of places where no one goes.
I just
the
have,
aliens
I
to
just have
do
to make a
experiments on.
disclaimer, though. okay, about all of this feral people and stuff, TikTok is not the best fucking source for this kind of shit.
I agree. There's people that do videos off of TikToks of how inaccurate that it is.
Absolutely.
There's a
I mean,
pilot. There's
come on.
one girl that tells people how to survive a plane crash, and there's a pilot on there that debunks all these TikTok videos of people talking about how you're supposed to sit up straight and put your knees on the back. Don't do it.
Yeah, so you're talking.
TikTok is not
You're
a
talking
good-
about the same type of fucking social media that has teenage fucking girls dressing like whores and dancing around and showing their boobs and all that stuff.
Oh, that's
Those are called tick thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But apparently that's where a lot of these theories are coming from.
Yeah, but I agree with them. I mean, if you're
Nobody
out there
really
in the woods, if you're out there in the woods, somebody could snatch you. If there's 3 people,
See, and here's the kicker right here. There are no official reports or documentation whatsoever to back up any of these claims, but the conspiracy theories persist. That shit in a nutshell tell you probably don't take that too seriously. Now, are there feral people? We'll
yes.
never fucking know.
I guarantee you there are.
I'm sure there
If
are.
you're out there and you're wanting to live off of a grid for some reason or another,
But if I'm going feral, nah, I ain't fucking eating people. I'm gonna be like Grizzly Adams. I'm gonna make friends with a big grizzly bear. I'm gonna build a log cabin. I'm gonna have a big bushy beard. John Denver's gonna be my fucking theme song. And I'm gonna be like,
Carolina on
fuck
my mind.
yeah, baby.
Nice.
Fuck, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know. What do you guys think about
Okay,
this?
so there's horror movies. Like, that's one of the main themes of horror movies. You go into the woods and then you get snatched by feral people.
Yeah. Or you get banjos playing.
Right. So-
You got a purty mouth.
Exactly.
Just don't squeal like a pig.
Why would
You'll
that
all
not
right.
be real?
No,
That would
I'm
be
sure
real.
it is real.
Yeah.
I believe that Deliverance was an actual documentary.
Okay, and another thing, if you leave your house and you go into the woods, no one keeps track of where you are.
If you don't tell
Even if you
anybody.
go into the National Park Service, you don't have to sign in, or you don't have to say, okay, I'm going in at 9 o'clock on, Tuesday the 13th of January, whatever. You don't sign in. You just start walking. So they don't have.
And there's no
how
cell
accurate-
service.
My point is, how accurate are these numbers? There's probably a lot more because they don't have record of the people that have went into the forest.
I like this. I like the way this is written, though. It's like with a vast amount of land, it's entirely possible, but there's no official records of feral people in the national parks, cannibals or not. What do you think? Well, no shit. There's no fucking
Okay,
official record
so-
because these people went off the grid on purpose.
Right. So my husband used to backpack in. He would take his tent. He would be on his back. He'd have all of his food, and he would check in with the forest rangers before he went in. Well, the ranger would say, "Okay, don't go to this area," and Eric would say, "Why am I not going in this area?" And he said that the park ranger would say, "Well, we can't tell you that. Just don't go in that area." So does that mean that there's feral people there? Does that mean that there's a rock slide? Does that mean what does that mean? And the park ranger would just kind of be vague about it. Okay, well, so I'm giving you this information. Don't go there. So Eric's like, okay, I won't go there. So they know, they're aware something's up.
Right.
They're aware that that's probably where the feral people are. But it's a national park. This is your land. It's
Right.
like when you're in the RV. There are federal land that you can park on for free. You pay for that. It's federal free land. You take your RV out there, you can put it on there. So it's the same way with the Park Service. They can tell you not to go there, but that if you wanted to stay, they couldn't stop you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
is that area, what is in that area?
No idea. I don't know.
I wouldn't go near the area if that's what the
If
park
somebody
ranger
tells
knows
me
about it.
you might want to be careful in that range, in that area, then yeah, I probably
I'm
would
not
stay
going
away
there.
from that area. Not because I'm afraid of feral people, because I don't want to fucking die. That's why.
That's my point.
The park ranger knows better than anybody there.
Right, so how is a park ranger gone missing?
Right.
He knows where all these places. He's not going to go there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Some people are just dumb.
It's just,
I wouldn't fucking
all
do
this stuff is weird to me. It's just, why are they getting lost in the national parks?
it. Yeah.
Why are we not finding anything?
We want to know what you guys think. Send us an email at thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com or give us a call at 843-492-7966. Tell us what you think, and I highly suggest watching the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Missing
It's very
411.
interesting.
Even if not all of it's true, it's still fascinating to find out what the fuck's going on and all these people are missing for no reason.
Yeah, and he has to have like 10,000 signatures to even get a list of the people that have gone missing in these national parks. You have to
you
have,
might
why
want
do
to
you
call
have
your
to,
congressman too
right.
to find
why do
out
I
why
have
in
to
the
have a
right.
list?
Why in the
can't it
fuck
just
I have
be
to go
released?
through a bureaucracy to find out.
For federal land that I'm
Right.
paying for, I should be able to have a list of who's gone missing.
It's just yet another thing that is fucked up with this bureaucratic bullshit we call a government.
It's just that
It's dumb.
that needs to change.
It's
It needs to
D-U-M
change.
dumb. I'm just spelling like I see some of these motherfucking articles I gotta read.
Yeah, I love the forest. I like going out there for a walk, but I'm not going backpacking like my husband did. I'm not doing that.
No, I'm not either, man. I'm not a big hiker or backpacker. I never really have been.
He would go for a week, dude. Like he
Yeah.
hiked so far in, he's like, "There's nothing out there." But he said, when you go out that far, there are weird happenings out there.
Absolutely, there are.
Every hiker, every person has stories of, like I was talking about, like everything getting quiet.
Yeah, fuck
That could be a mountain lion, it could be a Bigfoot, it could be anything.
Dude, when nature gets quiet, that's when your fucking fight or flight kicks in.
Yep, it's exactly
'Cause
right. And he's like, "Well, I'm not camping here." Just
that ain't a good thing. But like I said, you guys tell us what you guys think.
Yeah.
If you got any theories, give them to us, man. We love to read it. We want some feedback from you guys. We want to hear what you think about the things we talk about, and we can't stress enough. We have no problem with whatever you have to say. This is one of those things where we do not censor people for what they believe ever.
No, we want to hear it.
Yeah, we want to hear it because we like to discuss. We believe in discussing thoughts and getting that shit out there and finding solutions.
Yeah.
Don, did you know that mac and cheese is the ice cream you never thought you'd need and now it's hard to get?
Are we in strange news?
I was going to say that.
Well, I
but
didn't do the DDD.
That's okay. I just wanted,
Mac
I
and
read this
cheese
and
ice cream?
it fascinates me that this would be the headline for,
We had macaroni and cheese the night before last.
right? But we didn't have it
We
as
didn't have
ice cream.
ice cream. I don't think I'd want it as ice
I
cream.
don't think I would either.
That would mess up my mind, and I think things would get crossed. I'd be like, I don't know
be
how I feel
strange.
about this.
It would be very strange.
No,
Don,
about this.
do you know what time it is, right? That's right. I started it off with the strange news of the mac and cheese ice cream, which is something I don't think anybody
That
really
caught
fucking
me off
wants.
guard.
Of course. That's my job is to catch you off guard.
You do it all the time.
I know. That's why we're friends. Here's a UFO report. No sign of aliens, but 143 mystery objects defy explanation.
Well, I mean, it's not aliens meaning beings, but these are flying objects, right?
Right. The U.S. government reports the U.S. government report is the most substantial public effort to date to address decades of speculation about UFOs and whether government had a role in concealing information.
Absolutely, they had a role in concealing information. Now they're
Why
saying
would that
they
even
did.
be a fucking
they
question?
concealed it. Now they're telling us about it. Of course they did.
Why would that even
They're
be a
admitting
question?
that they concealed it.
I think we just had an episode about that too, did we
Yeah,
not?
we did.
About how they distract with the stupid shit like
Yeah,
that.
it's like magic. Look at this
Right.
hand while I'm fucking picking your pocket, or look at this hand while we're telling you that aliens don't exist.
You know what an oxymoron is, right? No, that's not a non-pimply faced me. An oxymoron is not. It's basically like two things that don't work together. A perfect example would be military intelligence.
Because military's not intelligent.
Right. So here's a wonderful one for you. The U.S. military is stumped by a stolen box of armor-piercing grenades.
Well, why would you be stumped? Sorry.
Why would you be stumped? Like, where in the fuck did the grenades go? Maybe you might want to find them.
Why do you want to find them, dude?
June, this is funny. June 15th, I was scared, said Zachary, who runs a construction company and found the box of grenades stashed in the bushes behind his home in Georgia.
What were they doing there?
I don't fucking know, dude. It is Georgia.
In a bush.
It is Georgia. It is the state right above Florida.
Box of armor-piercing grenades.
Fucking armor-piercing grenades. Wow. Unbelievable.
Well, we saw what a M80 could do to a hand
Right.
this weekend.
Here's a good one. A Florida town, Florida, accidentally sold its water tower for $55,000.
What?
A businessman trying to buy a municipal building at the base of the city's water tower to get a lot more than he bargained for. Several thousand gallons more.
So they have control of your water now.
So they have no water in that small town in Florida because some dude bought all their water. Now, if there is a catastrophe tomorrow, that motherfucker's going to sell that water at like 400 times the amount that it's worth.
Right.
And somebody will fucking buy it. This one's crazy. Larger
have
than a
to.
football field and growing. There's a sinkhole that swallowed one house and 2 dogs.
Oh, because you chained them up outside.
It's been growing at a farm in Mexico since May. It's already swallowed a house and 2 dogs and had to be rescued from the hole last week.
Okay, so the dogs are alive. Okay,
dogs
so
are
they
alive.
had to be rescued from the hole.
And here's my favorite one, Dawn. My favorite one.
What?
Behold the anus. An evolutionary marvel. The anus is an evolutionary marvel. But now, how and when did this organ evolve into what it is today? Today on Shortwave, Maddie gets to the bottom. Ha! There's a pun there. Of these questions with the Atlantic's science writer, Catherine Wu.
Oh, the anus.
Let's talk about assholes.
Let's talk about this marvel.
Oh my god, it's a marvel.
It's a marvel sphincter
Fucking
that
crazy.
holds in your poop.
All right, people. Send us your stories. Send
love
us
you.
your
Thank
comments. Send us your fuck yous to thedeadtimeradio@gmail.com. You can call us at 843-492-7966. And we will talk to you the next time. See ya.
Bye.